Well, hello back, all you lovely guys. It's Wednesday's edition of Mark's Aquatics. Now, on today's episode, what I'm going to do is we're going to concentrate a little bit on the paludarium. I've got some new fish that I've put in it, and some more fish that we're going to acclimate and put into it today. Just been up my local fish shop, which is our local Maidenhead Aquatics, and I've got a little bag with some fishies in. There you are, Maidenhead Aquatics, that's where I go. If you're unfamiliar with them guys, go and hit them up. Really helpful bunch of guys, and they'll help you out any which way they can. Right, what I've got in here today is some absolutely stunning, let me just get these girls down here a bit, might not be able to see them that way. And there they go. There you go. We've got 4 stunning female guppies. Now they're all pregnant, and I went through them with the guys up there, and we picked out 4 of the nicest looking females. I think what I'll do is, without further ado, we'll stick them into the bowl, and we can have a better look at them in there. Well, there you go, guys. I've put them in the bowl. Obviously they're a little bit spooked, they're pale, but that's to be expected. I'm going to keep my movements down to a minimum so I don't scare them even more. Not to say that my little logo is not going to be spooking them with those big sharp teeth underneath, but they're absolutely beautiful. They've got some amazing colours in the fin. One of them's got the beautiful yellow running through the tail, that's the smallest one. The rest have got a lovely turquoisey blue running through the top of the body and through the tail as well. Like I said, they're pale at the moment, they're going to colour up, but what we've got to do now is we've got to acclimate these guys, or acclimatise these guys, and so we're going to take a little bit of that water out, and we're going to put a little bit in, and over the course of 20 minutes to half an hour we'll rotate this water right out. So we're going to take all that water out and then replace it with paludarium water from the tank itself over about the next half an hour. So when you come back, all that will be done, and we can introduce them then into the tank, and then you'll see the other fish that I've got already in the tank. Okay, right guys, they've all acclimated now, all in the bowl here. Jack's been down to have a look at his new tank mates and see what's been going on. Now I'll give you a closer look in a minute, but if you can look around the side here, I've also got in there 6 ember tetras, which I put in there. I absolutely love these little fish. They are like little sparks flying around in the tank with that dark substrate. They look absolutely fantastic in there. We're going to put in these female guppies now that are all heavily pregnant. So we're going to have some lovely little babies in there. And the thing I like about buying female guppies like this is because you never really know what they've been bred from, you know, what bloodlines they've got in them, and all those different characteristics that they're going to form. So it's a real potluck. You don't know what you're going to get, and that's the exciting bit for me, just going through it and seeing what turns out at the end, which I find really exciting. So I think what we should do is we'll have to drain some of this water out. I'm just going to take them away for a minute. Now what I tend to use is this little spoon when I'm taking them out when they're pregnant with this. I don't like stressing them out in nets. I like to just empty the water. That water now has been completely cycled through. All that old water's gone now through there, and I've just taken some fresh water in there. I've topped it up again. We're all ready to rock and roll. But I just lift them out carefully and just slide them in, because of the net. Sometimes they can take the slime coat off, and when that's wet, it's just like silk on the side of them. So they're not going to take anything off the slime coat, and everything's going to be up to speed there. So I'll just take them to one side. I'm going to empty some of the water out carefully. So we are literally left now with that little bit of water in there, just covering them. And then I'll carefully, holding the bowl over the tank, scoop them out, just drag them up the side slowly, and plop them in like that. Being gentle not to hurt them. And there you go. There's the 4 girls in there, all happy, looking around. Jack's thinking, what's going on? I'll just let them settle down now for an hour or so. The ember tetras are just coming out, as you can see on the right hand side. Also joining them is one of the little pygmy corries, which is nice to see them out. They tend to all come out in a little shoal in the evening, which is nice. Now you may think there's a lot of fish in there one go. You'd be right, but this is going to have a very, very frequent water change in here, and there's a lot of plant life in there, and that'll keep this water, the water pristine in there. It really will. That filter works fantastic, and regular water changes probably twice a week in there, as well as the plants doing their job, taking those nitrates out of the water, and they'll all be very, very healthy. One of the little pygmy corries then just shot to the surface. What I'll do is now I'll try and set you up a little bit better. There you go, that's a better view. So you can see now how pregnant they are. You can see the lovely yellow in the tail and the blues in the tail coming back through, which is brilliant, and it's made all the other tetras come out. We all know guppies are very, very friendly fish. Same as the swordtails, all the platies, very, very social fish, and they do bring everything out. I know a couple of you said put in a couple of fish that will bring the corries out, and you're very true, it does bring them out. As you can see, one of them there is scarfing in amongst them all, thinking it's the shoal of his own kind, but the rest of them are still hiding. I can see a few around this side actually. But the ember tetras are absolutely brilliant. Love those little fish, little Brazilian fish they are. And they've coloured up lovely. You put those in a few days back and they look really nice now. So my plan is with these females, as you can see they vary in sizes. Some have got lovely blue flecks through the fins. They're still quite pale, obviously we've just put them in, but they're gonna, one of them's got like a bit of a snakeskin top to it and a nice blue base. One of them's got quite a dark back end to it, like more of a two-tone with some lovely blue running through the tail as well. And you don't often see a lot of colour in the females. Obviously the males have got the colour and the big long flowing tails, but they're going to look absolutely stunning. So we're going to get some cracking little babies from these. We might even get some tonight, because sometimes when you move these fish and you stress them out, they will give birth. They'll go up to the surface panting away, and before you know it there'll be lots of little babies running around in amongst all these all the Amazon frog bit there and all the other water plants that we've got in there as well, hiding in amongst it. And I'll probably let them go this evening if they do, when the lights go out. But they've got that frog bit to hide under, so that's giving them some shade, so we don't have to turn the light off. As you can see, I put a little bit of food in there for them, and they're just going in and having a go at it now. So it shows that water's nice, they're happy, nothing in there stressing them. And believe it or not, that's a lot of water in that paludarium. It doesn't look like maybe a lot from you from this angle, but that water goes near enough all the way around, and I would say there's probably a good 40-50 litres in there, I would have thought. It's very, very deceiving. My brother came round yesterday and he looked at the jellyfish tank that I'm building, and he said, wow, he said, you can't see how big that is in you know, from the film to what it's like in real life. And I had it up in my living room just drying a bit of the glue, and he said he couldn't believe the size of it, and it is a big old lump. It's gonna look good when it's done. I'm excited about that build. But yeah, this is fantastic. I've been waiting to get some. What I'm going to do as well, we're going to do a water change in Jack's tank as well today. So we can go back. I've got a bucket of water ready. Now I'll just get you set up on there. Jack's looking bluer than ever. He's still got that little leading edge around his fins of white, which is nice. So he's still using Jack flag colours, but he's gone a very, very, it was a lighter blue than that, but the red's gone like a deep scarlet red now, and the blue's that real vivid metallic blue. Looks absolutely fantastic. He's had his bloodworms this morning. I put a couple of pellets in there for him. He did have a couple, but he's not too fussed in them. But we're going to give it a water change now, and we'll take some of the water out. Now I use JBL water conditioner. I've got a carbon block. I don't use that. I use that. Sorry, I do use that for filling up, but that's the stuff I use. The water conditioner, which is, as you see, it's 40 litres of that, 10 ml for 40 litres. So I just mix up I put 5 ml in, and I've got a smaller bucket there, which I've got a mark on the side, and I know how much I'm going to put back. So what we can do is just move everything away to that side now, get my other bucket in place, which is there. And what I do is I just siphon the water straight from his tank, straight into the bucket. And then with a jug, I just put it back. So I'll put that in there. You've got to watch him, keep an eye on him and not the bucket. I used to have a little straining end that used to go on, in fact I might still have it somewhere. I'll just have a quick look. I say normally I do this, but I've got that, I put that on the end so I can stick that in there now, and I can talk to you without fear of my little mate going flying up the pipe. He's looking away, he's thinking, what's going on? He said, I've seen this before, I know what's going on. It'll start raining in there in a minute, but it's coming out the trickle filter at the back. And he does love a good water change, and we're going to put an Indian almond leaf back in there today as well for him. I did hide one in the back, but I think that one slowly decayed away. He's a brave little boy, isn't he? That'll do for today. Yeah, just taking out just under half, and that should give him a nice little water change. It's quite nice with the trickling effect in the background there. If you're unfamiliar with this tank build, guys, I actually built both these tanks from scratch, from acrylic. This one with the lighting system in the top and the built-in filter system as well at the back, which has got all the different medias in, which you can go and have a look at. I think it's the acrylic shrimp tank build, which now has Jack in it. But it doesn't matter. He's happy in there, that's the main thing. So I think what I'll do now is I'll go and get the Indian almond leaf and we'll put that in as well. Right, here's his Indian almond leaf, which I like to steep these in boiling water. It does remove some of the tannins. I don't like too much tanning in the water. We can just drop that in there. It'll probably float for a couple of days. It might sink with the boiling. There you go. It may come off again, but that boiling water normally forces out all the air. Jack was very interested in that. But Indian almond leaves, if you're unfamiliar with them, are absolutely amazing leaves for your tank. They're full of antifungal, antifungicidal properties, antibacterial properties, and if your fish have got any injured or wounds, like I say, when the Siamese fighting fish, they used to fight them, and they used to put the Indian almond leaves in there, obviously for that antifungicidal property that they've got, and antibacterial side, to heal the wounds up in the fish faster after a little fight. But he's very interested in that. Used all around the world. Humans have used them as well, for packing wounds to doing all different types of stuff. I think I've done a video on Indian almond leaves and all the different properties and the uses they were used for throughout the years, which you can pop back and have a look at if you're interested in that kind of stuff. But those tannins will obviously, they'll go into the water, they'll soften that water up as well. And he looks very happy in there. So now what we've got to do, we've added our, I've got my other bucket of water down here, which you can see, just there. Put the tap conditioner in there. That's up to temperature as well. So we give that a quick stir around. This stuff's got aloe vera in it. It softens the old water up as well. makes it all nice and makes it all nice for him. So I'll just put you back over here now, and we can slowly add some of the water back. Now I do it in a jug. I've got a little pump as well. But he loves the water going in. He loves that splashing movement. If my arm's not in the way and you can't see him, I'm sorry, but I'll change angles in a minute. And I like to just pour it in nice and slow. He chases the bubbles around, and he's quite happy doing that. It's just that this one's visual. The Siamese fighting fish and betters love these leaves. When they float, they'll lay their eggs, their bubble nests underneath them. Okay, that's Jack's tank all finished. Nice little water change, bit of a glass scrub, bit of maintenance. He's happy now, looking around for things. I've got to get him some bloodworm later on. He's had a couple of pellets this morning, so he's quite happy with that. All the other guys have settled in. The female guppies are actively sieving through that substrate already, looking for that, hunting out those little bits of pellets that I put in there for them earlier on. The little ember tetras are all active. There's 8 in there in total. Now if you do get ember tetras, make sure you get from 6 to, I'd say from 6 to 10 in a little shoal, because they are a shoaling fish, and you don't want them, they'll get very, very skittish, and they'll end up dying of stress if you try and put too many, just a couple in a big community tank. So I tend to go for a little group of them. They're still happier in groups. But everyone seems nice and happy, whizzing about. Both tanks have now had a water change. You never know, by Sunday, when we carry on the jellyfish tank build, which I'm thoroughly enjoying at the moment. If you look on, sorry, I'll just say, if you look down there, you can see 2 of the little cories have come out, the pygmy cories working their way along. I'll just zoom in for you on that one. Sorry for there's a bit of glare there coming from my workshop. You can see it just there, just over there. Sorry, it's a bit of glare with the windows, but these things can't be helped. The old ferropole and the ferropole 24s keeping everything lovely and green. I do put it in the spray bottle as well. I've got a small bit of, I don't know, maybe about 5 ml in my squirter bottle. I'll just get it, I'll just show you. That's the squirty bottle I use. Just obviously one that's bought from one of our local pet stores, which is brand new, never had anything in it. Never use anything which has had solvents, chemicals in, anything like that. Which I'm sure you wouldn't anyway. But for those of you who think you can wash these chemicals out, you can't. They really do leach into the plastic, and they're quite dangerous, and they will kill your pets, plants, everything. So make sure it's a new one when you do it. But I put in about 2 or 3 ml in there, and I'll spray all around on the top of the plants. I'll show you that in a minute. And I spray the plants with it as well, from the roots and on the surface as well. But everyone's looking nice and happy. Waterfall's working well, the mosses are doing well. I think I am losing that lucky bamboo at the back. It has gone a bit, it's shrinking up a little bit. Maybe at the top section, I'll just show you. You can see at the top there, it's quite there you are. It's quite brown on one side, so and underneath as well. So I might lose a couple of segments. They might rot away. I'll leave it because the bottom section is very green. So I'll leave it and see what happens there, because they might root from the bottom and put some shoots out from there. So we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. I think you can see a little pygmy cory now, right in the centre there, hoovering away. There's another one just over there, and believe it or not, the other ones are hiding. There's another 9 in there, I think we put in there, hiding behind the back. And like I said, yes, there is quite a few fish in there for what's going on, but what I want to do is I'm going to let those guppies drop a load of babies in there, and then what I might do then is take them out from there, put them into one of my other tanks. Yeah, I've got a little gang of 3 corries now in the middle. They're slowly coming out, and I'll put them in the shrimp room and I'll bring them on. I'm going to see what sort of strains I can get from these guppies. I think just concentrate on these 4 girls here and the bloodlines that they've come from, and see what strains we can, see what colours we can come out with. It's going to be quite interesting to that I can stock the bench tank and all the other tanks we've got, and come up with some nice funky colours, because I do love guppies. First things we all start out with, and like I've said before, I've kept everything from black diamond, stingrays, you name it, alligator gars. I've kept it all over the years. But it's funny that you always go back to the simple fish and the easiest ones to keep and breed. And I think as you get older, your tastes change, and you tend to look back. It doesn't have to have all big teeth and flying around, shredding everything in sight. Just lovely to see a fish like the betta and the guppies and things with those beautiful fins. Oh my God, I was right on I nearly jumped into that paludarium myself then. My compressor just fired up in the shed and frightened the life out of me. My God. Anyway, getting back to the tank. You see now there's 3 of the little corries have come out. I can see a couple more at the other side. Plucking up the courage to come out and join the rest of these guys. They're going to have a good water change, probably maybe 2 or 3 times a week, 10-15%, just to keep on top of anything that so nothing spikes in there, which I know it won't. Like I say, I've been doing this for a few years. I know what to do these days, and to keep everything nice and healthy. You've got to watch out though, guys, if you've got like a newly cycled, you know, little tank. If you put too many in, you're not going to have that colony of bacteria going in there, and your ammonia is going to creep up and you're going to have some problems in a new tank. So what I would always say, if you're going to add fish, I always used to add 1 or maybe 2 or 3 a month, and that leaves your bacteria then time to colonize to cope with that level, and then it will level out, and when it levels out then you can add more after that. Or frequently give it water changes like I'm doing, but you've got to keep that regular water change up constantly, or that's when you start running into problems. Everyone's looking lovely and healthy. I love the Amazon frog bit, the way those roots come down. Any of those little baby guppies, sorry, will be up in amongst that lot if they're born. I think the ember tetras will have a go at the baby ones if they're born during the day, and probably take some of them out. But if I do see them in there, I'll put some I might put some extra little bits of moss and stuff in the corners for them, so they've got somewhere to go and hide. But there's tons of hiding places all the way around in here. If we go up in the world, you'll be able to see a little bit from above then. There you go, that's a little bit of a nicer angle for you to have a look at them. You can see all the frog bit there. It's really going nuts now. There's only a few bits in there when we put it in there the other day. Yeah, I think it was last week. I think it's growing that quickly. But there is all the nooks and crannies everywhere around in there for things to hide. So if something is born, it's going to have plenty of hiding places to go and to keep away from these little ember tetras if they do, and obviously the parents as well, because the parents will eat them. And you normally see that with the males as well, with endlers and with guppies. Male guppies know, if you've got a community tank, you might be familiar with this, but when you know a female guppy, you know when she's going to drop those babies, because she must let off a pheromone into the water or something, because those males will be chasing her left, right and centre around the vent where the babies come out. And they learn to do that because when they eat them, they eat the babies as they're actually being born. So that's why sometimes it's best to take the pregnant mums out or put them in a little holder, which I might build one of those actually. I might build a little holder so we can put one in there. That'll be an interesting little build. Get the laser fired up and make a few of them out of some decent acrylic. You normally find them in the shops, but they're very thin. And they always get busted. Yeah, they're quite happy now, those 3 little catfish swimming around down the bottom now. I could talk for hours about all this stuff, I really could. A couple of you said on there, I think it was you, Deanne, said about me, I'm surprised I've got any time to do anything with the amount of stuff and things that I do, but it's like I say to the wife, and I'll say to you guys as well, when it's your hobby and it's something that you absolutely love doing, it's not work at all. You know, I thrive on this stuff. I always have done it. It's just something that's in my blood. I love to create things, love to create, you know, little environments, little ecosystems, and making sure everything's happy in there and has a nice little life. That Guppy's found that load of food on the front there. She's tucking into that. But I absolutely adore making tanks. With the koi pond that you can hear, I'll just spin you around there. I've actually got one of my koi at the moment, it's not very well, and I'm not sure what's going on. You can see she's lying underneath the waterfall there, but she's, oh pardon me, but she's been lying on her side like that for about 3 days now. But when I put the net by her to move her, she swims around okay, and I've had her in the net. I'm not sure what's wrong with her. She's got no visual lesions on her, nothing I can't see. She's not flashing like if she had trichodina or any of the costia or anything like that. So she's not worried, you know, nothing like that's worrying her. She's just on her side and I can't work it out. It was one of the ones that I got from that heated pond last year, and it could be something to do with the cold weather which has affected her from being kept in that heated pond for most of her life. Because all the other ones are fine, as you can see down there. They're all coming in and out from the outside back into the workshop. But she's unwell and I'm not sure what it is, and she tends to swim in a circle when she does swim, and then she'll go back and lie down again, so I'm going to have to keep my eye on her. I've never come across an ailment like that. If any of you koi keepers out there have got any ideas what it could be, drop me a message in the comment section below, because I'd be interested to find out, because I can't work it out. She's a stunning fish as well, and it'd be a shame to lose her, but I've got a funny feeling that she's not going to make it. But touch wood, she will, and she'll be back up to speed. There's a few of the some of the bigger ones coming out now. These are coming on for a couple of years. No, just over a year old that one is. There's quite a few in there, some younger ones as well. I'm not sure if you remember, but when we had the when I got the koi eggs, and I bought the koi eggs back to the workshop, we put them in a tank and I brought them up and hatched them. There's about 4 of them which are left from that batch are now in the pond. So they were darker colours, they weren't stunning colours, but they're all beautiful fish, and I'll keep them until their end. So we've got some beautiful fish in there now. They're really coming along with their colours. And those colder months, I don't know why, what it is, they really seem to go, their colours really pop in the cooler months. The old Tancho there, beautiful big orange spot on his head. But he's starting to get a little bit of darker scales coming on the back now, which I'm not too worried about. It'd be nice if he had stayed platinum white with that on his head, but as fish change colours, you know, things grow up and they variance and they change, like Jack with his colour, with that nice white fin he had on the edge, and now that's all gone. Yeah, so hopefully she'll be okay and she'll pull through. But I'll keep you informed on that and how things go. But all these guys are looking really happy in here, tugging away on that food and settled in nice. All the mosses are doing well. I know one of you guys was saying that you put on a forum about taking moss from the wild, and yeah, some people, and he said he had a right go, people had a right go at him over it, about taking things from nature and taking this from that and what have you, but I know it's not a good thing, but I mean, moss around here, my God, there's tons of it, and as fast as you're picking it, the stuff's growing. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Some people are more touchy about other subjects than others, you know, but I mean, I believe if you can take something from the wild like that and make it, you're not actually you're not taking it and, you know, destroying it. It's still growing, it's still thriving, and it makes a lovely show. And obviously it doesn't cost you anything if you get it from the wild. It's not tropical moss. All the moss is from my local woodland around here. I know that light's a little bit strong, sorry, it's a bit glary up there, but it's growing really, really well. And all I do is I come in with that and I just squirt it all over, all the Java moss, the fern, sorry, the Java fern, the Anubias, the pothos, umbrella plant and everything else. I just give it a little soak down like that once a day, and we've got a lovely little environment there we've created. Anyway, probably been a bit of a long video. Hope you've stayed till the end. If you're new to the channel, as always, hit that subscription bell and sorry, the notification bell even, and subscribe for up and coming videos, you know, and you're not going to miss any more then. And it'd be nice to have you aboard. We're nearly at 6,500 subs. I think we've hit 6,400 last night, which is amazing. We've only got 100 more of you guys to go, and I'll be giving 5 of those cucumber or zucchini feeders away on a random pick, which we'll do live. And good luck to all of you on that one. And like I said, what I'll do is I'll customise it for you. I'll put your name on it, laser inscription on there, and you know, if you want a certain thing on there, I'll do my best to put it on there for you, unless you just want one of the original ones with the shrimp on or the snail on. It's up to you. I'll let you message me, and we'll go from there when we hit. So we only need 100 more, guys, so get slapping that button, and we'll be there in no time at all. Right, I think I'm going to say cheerio to you guys from the workshop. So we've had some good news there, and sadly a little bit of bad news with the koi. Hopefully we'll work out what's wrong with her, and we'll get her back up to speed and get her cruising around with her mates again for the summer. Anyway, from me in the workshop, from Jack, the Ember Tetras, and all the little corries and the guppies and the shrimps and everything else which is lurking around in here, I'll bid you farewell. Love you loads. Take care, and I'll see you on the next episode of Mox Aquatics, where we'll be carrying on with the jellyfish tank, which I'm really excited about, getting the filter system rigged up and giving it a test fill. Alright guys, love you loads, take care, and I'll see you on the next episode of Mox Aquatics. Bye for now.
Just me and my guitar.